Good day, ma'am. We are Chapter 7 reporter.
Good day, ma'am. I am a first reporter of Chapter 7. Chapter 7, Ethics, Law, Politics, and CSR. By the way, I'm Jeluijan Imdakis. Despite many negative stereotypes, the public relation industry maintains high standards for conduct professional work ethically and legally. The must be understood and hidden missteps in these areas will undermine credibility and can have wide-ranging repercussion for the organization and profession. So, distinction between ethics and law. So, ethics stem from the field of philosophy where much attention given to the rightness and wrongness of human action, as they are to the linked particular high-level values and code of conduct. Ethics are self-legislated and self-enforced and can be difficult to parse because an ethical dilemma can have multiple competing interpretation, possibly with multiple equally valid choices or no compelling ethical choice at all. On the other hand, while laws are invisibly drawn from ethics, they are formally and institutionally determined and enforced through policing in courts. Laws are more easily interpreted because they are spelled out as matter of statute. Jurisprudence in courts speak to how this law have been interpreted in various cases over decades or even centuries. In each of the communication professions, there are key legal considerations that must be understood that will either help or hinder the seeking of information to meet those goals. In addition, in use, for example, if some of the information needed requires the use of public records, then understanding of public records and privacy laws will indicate with what records are available and how to access them. Positive obligation. Number 1, serve the public interest. Serve the public interest by acting responsible advocates for those PR or public relation firm or professional represent. Number 2, adhere to highest standard of truth, accuracy. Acquire and responsibly use specialized knowledge in experience and preparing public relation messages to build mutual understanding, credibility, and relationships among a wide array of institutions and audience. Number 4, provide objective counsel. To those the public relation firm or professional represent. For example, the best advice for a client may be to admit wrongdoing and apologize. The public relation or PR practitioner must objectively weigh this advice and offer it if is the best option. Number 5, deal fairly. Deal fairly with clients, employers, competitors, peers, vendors, the media, and the general public. Number 6, act promptly to correct erroneous communication. Act promptly to correct erroneous communication for which the PR firm professional is responsible. Again, failure to do this could invoke both ethical and legal sanction. The next one is negative obligation. First is do not plagiarize. Do not plagiarize. Never ever present someone else's work as your own. Number 2, do not give or receive gifts of any types from clients or source that might influence that information in message beyond the legal limits or in violation government reporting requirement. Number 3, do not violate intellectual property rights. Do not do not violate intellectual property rights is the marketplace, sharing competitive information, leaking proprietary information, taking confidential to information from one employer to another, and another such practices are both illegal and ethically unacceptable. Number 2, do not employ deceptive practices. Do not employ deceptive practices, paying in someone to pose as a volunteer to speak at public hearing or participate in grassroots campaign is deceptive, for instance. Number 5, avoid conflict of interest. Real or perceived PR professional firms must encourage client and customers as well as colleagues in the professions to notify all affected parties when a conflict interest arises. And also, you can see from the sampling of positive and negative obligation that communication professionals must weigh a wide variety of consideration when gathering and using information to create a message. The intended audience, the purpose of the message, the intent of the communicator, the ethical consideration, the legal constraint, and many other variables help determine on how to act or not. The last one is ethical responsibility. Communication professionals must also conduct their work in the context of commitment to social responsibility because mass communication messages are pervasive and influential. Media, organization, and professional are held to high standard for their actions. So there are 3 levels of responsibility that affect public relation or PR practitioner. So first is social. Social, the relationship between media system and other major institution in society. The second one is professional organization or organizational. A profession's own self-regulation and standard for conduct. And the last one is individual. The responsibility an individual has to society, their profession, their audience, and themselves. That's all. In addition, communication professionals must understand the societal implications of their work and the rules, which are sometimes unwritten, under which they operate. Professional education and licensing have been traditional means by which society has sought to ensure legal and ethical behavior from those who bear important social responsibilities. For law, medicine, accounting, teaching, architecture, engineering, and other fields of expertise. Specific training is followed by examination, licensing, and administration of oaths that include promise to live up to the standard established profession. However, there is no law that requires a public relation practitioner to be licensed without the power to control entry into field and withdrawal the license to operate as these other professions. Public relation practitioners have an even higher need to police themselves, especially in light of the huge explosion of fake news being generated by individual with political, cultural, or financial motivated legitimate communicator must defend their crucial role in society.
So, good morning, ma'am. I am the second reporter of Chapter 7. As a strategic communicators have adapted social media platforms for distributing their message by other societal institutions has increased. In the United States, the Federal Trade Commission was concerned about claims being made by advertisers and by public relations practitioners via social media that they updated their social media guidelines. Fully disclose their sponsorship of the information. If an advertiser has hired a blogger to endorse a product or service, the blogger must disclose that they are working for the advertiser. If the public relations firm posts positive comments about its client on the social media, the first must disclose that they are working on behalf of the client. So strategic communicators is have a strategy to how to organize the business and how to organize. The Canadian Public Relations Society emphasizes honesty and accountability in addition to expertise, advocacy, fairness, independence, and loyalty. Their code of professional standards reflect the concerns of society as well as the practitioners who adopt the code. There is an individual level of responsibility for behavior communications. Professionals may find themselves confronting conflicting obligations their work. Public relations work can sometimes have a decidedly ambivalent atmosphere. Public relations as a field is criticized for creating the manipulating image on behalf of those with narrow interest, failing to give public interest information a priority. 7.5K laws in the Canadian context. There are wide variety of law. The public relation practitioners must familiarize themselves with to work productively, effectively, ethnically, and legally in the Canada. Employment and labor relations, legislation, freedom of information, and protections of privacy legislations, human rights, law. Employment laws. Without getting into details, virtually every organization of any significance has employees. A basic understanding the legal requirements for being employer, and by extension, the rights of employees is necessary to advise clients. So, one of the isa sa mga sa organization is na yung employee o da sila katungod nga moreklamo o kung saang mga mali nga nabuhat. For example, if a client is irritated that some of their employees are organizing a union, the client cannot fire them, not can they harass or intimidate the employees in a question that would contravene labor laws. Second is freedom of information and protection of privacy laws. Often known as FOIPA or other similar acronyms, this relatively recent laws limit the information can be collected, stored, shared, destroyed by whom, when, and how. When an organization collects personal information such as email address, they must declare how the information will be used. For example, if a religious organization collects the names, home address, phone numbers, and email address of congregants in order to circulate information about prayer service, holidays, or other religious events that would all seem appropriate so long as the information was safeguarded. Human rights. A wide variety of human rights law exists and many organizations have policies about to apply them internally. In general, human rights laws prohibited discrimination based on the person's ethnicity, religion, political affiliation, age, gender, sex, sexual identity, sexual orientation, disability, marital status, parental status, or other demographic information except where it is a bona fide requirement. So this is our report, and the next reporter is I gave him.
And we are the next three reporter. Torts law. The category of law is enormous and encompasses a huge amount of civil law as opposed to criminal law. Tort law is usually settled between citizen or organization where a wrongdoing has occurred, where the party owns a duty to another either through contract or civil expectation. In some cases, torts are also subject to criminal law as well with separate legal proceeding. The list of torts is quite long, but is broken into three groups: intentional torts and strict liability. Torts, intentional torts occur when a person deliberately causes for harm to another, such through harassment, assault, property damage, or trespassing. Next, negligence torts occur when a person accidentally causes harm to another through their action or even through inaction where they had a duty to act. For example, of a tenant report water leak to a landlord, which the landlord ignores only to have the leak cause a fire that damage the tenant belongs the landlord, could be liable for the damage done because they own a duty of care to the tenant. Public relation practitioner should have a basic work knowledge of the concept attached to these laws, especially concerning the site of employees' human rights, confidentiality and privacy laws, and the duties of care and communication that comes into play towards further public relation. Politics and society. The political expectation of a society is a given moment in time is known, and it's the passage of the advancement in technology, influential opinion leader, and major events shift society. For example, consider the dominant society views a social issue over time, such as marriage or time attitude in North America have shifted dramatically at one point a common viewpoint. Divorce was an unilateral, be illegal over time attitude, and laws shifted equally. Interracial marriage was seems as unilateral, and such as marriage were illegal again attitude and laws have shifted. More recently, social attitude and laws about some sex marriage have shifted to current zeitgeist, take an exclusive liberal view about how marriage should be defined, who should be able to participate, and how and when marriage can or should come end to end. Political correctness. The term political correctness is much malign and even weaponized with really amount to describing people, the terms by which they reasonable request they be described, and being respectful in communication about people. Corporate social responsibility. One strategy for building an ethical organizational brand is through corporate social responsibility. Responsibility is a business model practice that ostensibly seeks to benefit the greater society more and more. Consume support business that create initiative to help communities cooperate social responsibility. And that's all, ma'am, and thank you.